Welcome to Conversations with Kay and Twitter Tea. It's time. I've been a little busy lately, but I can't resist this. I had to. Todd Chrisley versus Without a Crystal Ball on Twitter. It's just unbelievable. And I think it's going to get worse as we go. I'm pretty sure. One thing I want to say, though, is don't get involved. Don't get too close. If everybody didn't learn during the last lawsuit that if you get close and you get your name involved, you get into a lawsuit. So nobody needs that in their life. They really don't. And while we're here, I'll just say this video is just my opinions and should never be construed as facts. One more time for the people in the back. This video is just my opinions and should not be construed as facts. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, be careful. These Twitter streets are mean. I'm telling you, I have never seen it as toxic as it is right now. If you don't have Twitter, just stay off of it. That's my advice. Just stay away. I'll give you recaps here, but yeah, okay. Don't get involved. It's so bad. So here's one of the first tweets with Llama Girl adding Todd on Twitter saying KJ is apparently privatizing all of her Todd Chrisley videos. To which Todd replies, "We've already got copies. If she had worked as hard to tell the truth as she is now trying to cover her tracks like a cat covering S, she wouldn't be in this situation." I gotta tell you, the guy's got some zinger comes backs, that's for sure. Then Carolyn said, "Hey, at Todd Chrisley, we are all waiting for with bated breath for the documents against Katie Joy to show up in Pacer. Any idea when that's going to happen?" And Todd says, "It's coming. I will post the day that it happens." And Emily D. Baker says, "Well, I don't doubt that for a minute." I do doubt it. I do. And I'll tell you why in a couple more tweets here. Now, I know he did have, his attorney sent Katie something, but it was not a lawsuit. So, like Emily said, it's one of those, there could be litigation coming, don't delete your stuff, but that's not a lawsuit. So let's keep going here and see what else was said. So you can see more of the replies here. And Steve says, "While not as large as probably Todd's lawsuit, Todd's was $5 million, I can promise you another defamation suit from someone else is being drafted by attorneys. When it's served, I have absolutely no idea, but I do know someone else, in fact, filing a suit on her." And somebody says, "Christmas is coming early." And Tipster says, "Definitely interested in seeing where this goes." Now, I think this Steve's comment is where the rumor came from that there was another lawsuit coming. The rumor I have heard is that it's coming out of Alabama. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll have to wait and see, huh? So then somebody else tweets and says, "If I was without a crystal ball, I'd be shaking in my boots. Todd Chrisley doesn't look like he'll be dropping this issue at all. Katie Joy, damn, your legal fees must be insane." And Todd Chrisley says, "I assure you they're getting ready to go through the roof." So, yeah. But are they? Are they really? Let's think about what it is that Todd really wants. Does he really want Katie Joy? Because I don't think he does. I don't think that's the point. Nah, what Todd wants is dirt on his daughter, Lindsay. That's what he really wants, and that's what this is all about. And he's probably getting most of what he wants without a lawsuit. Here's a parody account that was making fun of what Todd was doing and making fun of Katie and said, "I'm living, come at me, Todd." Well, the bad thing for Todd was he thought that was really Katie. So he starts going off and thinking that's Katie and going off on her on Twitter. And, of course, people jump in and try to tell him it's a parody account. That's not really Katie. And then he has to back off. And I do think he was embarrassed. But this is what happens when people are just messing around. And joking around and trying to get themselves involved in a lawsuit. It's just, I don't know why people do this. Why you want to involve yourself in legal matters. It's not fun, I'm telling you. It won't be good. Todd replied with, "This ass clown is too ignorant to engage and too broke to F with. But since I'm bored, I'll take her challenge. Pay your attorney so he can take your case." Now, see, this, I think, shows that he's not about suing Katie for defamation because he knows she doesn't have that kind of money. So what are you going to get? And every attorney I've ever talked to says damages are the hardest thing to prove in a defamation and slander case. You have to prove that you were hurt, that your finances were hurt because of what they said. And it's very hard to prove. We saw this with the Toddy lawsuit, with Salt's trying to find people that said they didn't buy vitamins in that specific state because of what Katie said, right? So can you imagine Todd Chrisley having to prove that Katie damaged his financial situation by the things that she said? I don't think he could ever do it. And again, I don't think that's the point. I don't think that was ever what Todd wanted, and I think that's why he says he's going to sue her and then never does. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe he'll sue her, but I don't think he will. I think what he wants is the messages between her and Lindsay, or whatever information she has in messages. It's all he talks about. I mean, it's sad to me that a family could be broken apart like his. It's just sad. The whole thing is sad. And I don't know, I don't get why people are putting Todd Chrisley up on a pedestal. I've never been a huge fan of his. Sorry, Todd. And it has nothing to do with Katie. Nothing. Y'all know how I feel about reality TV. It ruins families, childhoods, marriages. It's just not good. And you can see it with his family. His family is torn apart. And I'm sure reality TV had a big part in that. That's just my opinion. I have watched the last couple years of this stuff with his daughter and his son, and it's heartbreaking. But I feel like I would never do that to my kids. I would never talk about it publicly, no matter what. So, you can have your own feelings on Todd Chrisley, but I really feel for his daughter. I do. I don't know her. Don't have any kind of connection to her, Todd. So... But these are just my feelings. I think all Todd wanted all along was to get to his daughter, Lindsay. I think he knows, and his tweets show, that he knows Katie doesn't have that kind of money to make it worth suing her. Plus, like I said, it's really hard to show damages. And if you can't show damages, you're just throwing your money away on a lawsuit. The other thing, too, is I'm sure his podcasts... have gone through the roof. I know they have. I know his following count on Twitter's probably gone through the roof. So there's some advantages for him. He's seeing some good things happen. I think it's kind of funny that he puts down people on YouTube who do things for views when it's the same thing everywhere. Everybody's doing things for views, whether it's a TV show or a podcast or a social media page. That's the name of the game. If you're going to make money, you got to do all these things, and you've got to have views and followers and all that. But I did think it was not funny, but he also pointed out in his podcast, he alleges that Katie Joy's husband is a Nazi lover and all this stuff. So then Katie was replying to that on Twitter. Katie, you need to stop replying to all these people. You need to stop. I don't get it. I would never give these people the time of day if it was me. But I feel like it encourages more. That's what I feel like. I feel like the more she replies, the more she points out what everybody's saying, the more it goes and just brings on more to the dog pile. But Katie Joy's got to be Katie Joy, so it's not how I would handle it. But this is Katie's way of handling it for sure. I don't know. People need to be careful who they put up on a pedestal, because we saw this happen with Salts too. My feeling is there will never be a defamation lawsuit against Katie by Todd Chrisley. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, I started making this video yesterday, and of course, my life is always so crazy. Something came up and I couldn't finish it. So now we know who the other person that says they're going to sue Katie is Roadhog. So that mystery has now been solved. I don't think he'll do it either, but he might. I would almost think, this is just my opinion, there's a better chance of Roadhog suing Katie than there is Todd Chrisley, in my opinion. Why? I have heard other YouTubers over the years, now this was before I ever knew about Katie Joy, swear by getting in a lawsuit can make you so much money on YouTube, because then you have content for probably another year, right? You can keep making videos about it. People will be interested, especially if it's somebody more famous that's suing you or you're suing them. It makes good content. It makes money. So there's always that to think about too. Like I said, everybody's got an agenda. Somebody asked me what my agenda was. I'm just here to have fun. This is not my full-time job. I run 2 different businesses. This is fun for me most of the time. And I was hoping to parlay this into my retirement career, if I ever get to retire. So that's my agenda. So no, I don't have to be big and famous. I don't have to make a certain amount of money on YouTube. No, I don't have to do any of those things. I can pretty much just do whatever I want. So, but I will say most people have a big agenda, so you have to be looking at that. Todd Chrisley's got one, and that's to get to his daughter. Roadhog's got one, and it's probably to get more content, more subs, more numbers, more money. Now, I'm just putting this out there. It's just my opinion. You can all let me know what you think down in the comments. Hoping to go live this weekend, but I'm still not sure. Like I said, I have one crazy life. It's always one thing after another. But I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you, hold your family close.